The Chancellor, The Remarkable Odyssey of Angela Merkel, by Kati Marton. Read by Alex Allwine, with the prologue and epilogue read by the author.
Prologue. The Pastor's Daughter. She arrives quietly. No wailing sirens, flashing lights, or phalanx of aides announces Angela Merkel's entrance into the plain brick chapel in Potsdam, just outside Berlin. Her slightly hunched walk is purposeful. iPhone cameras light up as she passes pews, and she, this woman who hates cameras pointed at her, smiles indulgently. These are her people. Though the church is near the capital, this is a different tribe from Berlin's sophisticates, with whom Merkel spends the majority of her working days. Her father had been pastor in a similarly plain parish church, and on this damp fall evening, the simple house of worship provides temporary refuge from the turbulence of her fourth and final term. Stolen days in her home province of Brandenburg, with rambles in the nearby woods, are becoming increasingly rare. She is too busy saving the world. Tonight, as Merkel arrives at the Oberlinkirche, surrounded by people who could pass for family, the 63-year-old Chancellor of the Federal Republic of Germany briefly allows herself to drop her guard. She wears her uniform, jewel-colored jacket, dark green tonight, and black pants. Black flats planted firmly, Merkel settles into a straight-backed armchair in front of the altar, her fingertips touching lightly, a prayerful gesture now so familiar to Germans that there's an emoji for it. Every morning of my childhood the church bells tolled as they did again at 6 p.m. I miss that, she tells her hushed audience, which appreciates this rare personal glimpse of their supremely private leader. For just a moment, the Chancellor's smile, not a politician's facsimile, erases the deep grooves carved into her features. In recent years, the world of Germany's first woman chancellor has been roiled by social and political unrest. Battered by the rising tide of worldwide populism, Merkel is vilified by right-wing extremists now present in the German parliament, the Bundestag, for the first time since World War II. The shock of an American populist in the White House heaping praise on Vladimir Putin, Merkel's nemesis in Moscow, is still fresh. On the first day of school, Merkel continues, offering a window into the complexity of growing up a pastor's child in atheist East Germany, students were required to stand up and state their parents' profession. She recalled classmates advising her, just say driver, driver being a more proletarian-friendly profession than pastor, and in German, the two words sound nearly identical. Pastor, she answered the teacher. Merkel does not need to explain to this audience how dangerous candor could be in East Germany. Even children had to attempt to pass unnoticed by the all-seeing state. The Stasi's penetration of society was deeper and wider than that of its predecessor, the Gestapo. The Ministry for State Security had 173,000 employees, including informants, compared with 7,000 in the Third Reich. There was one informer for every 63 people. Of course, this childhood shaped my life, she says, perhaps inadvertently providing the key to who she is, how she has maintained power for an astonishing decade and a half, and why she remains a figure of mystery, even in her own country, and certainly to the world. Drawing the conversation back to the present, Pastor Matthias Fichtmüller asks if the Chancellor reads the books that are written about her. Yes, but I don't recognize myself in them. The parish joins her laughter. I have made very sure that there are boundaries, so certain areas of my life are not open to the public, she says. Anything beyond her official role, Merkel has made plain, is none of the world's business. Such secrecy is now an article of faith within the Chancellor's entourage. There have been no leaks, no tell-all.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?